I'm Haley from Gallifrey Public Radio, a Doctor Who fandom podcast and part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Talk hard and enjoy the mindgasm. The Intellectual Podcast starts now.
Welcome back to the Intellectual Podcast. I'm your host, David S. Dawson. Today is March 20th, 2020. And before we get into the episode, I just want to take a moment because this is the first episode of the podcast since the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic kind of took over everything going on in the world. And I just wanted to make a few comments about that. I myself, unemployed. Everything in the entertainment world has been turned upside down. I know that's the case for a lot of people, even outside of this industry. And my sympathies for what you're going through. But as someone who has a tendency to contract bronchitis and pneumonia on a regular basis, at least that's been my history, I'm taking this very seriously because I am what they consider one of those persons who's greatly at risk of serious complications from contracting corona. And for all of you who began self-quarantining and self-distancing and following CDC guidelines before, we were kind of all forced to start doing it, as we have been the last few days, I thank you so much for your social awareness. I thank you for protecting my life as well as the ones that you love. And I hope that if you haven't started following those guidelines yet, if you haven't started self-quarantining and distancing yourself from people, I ask you and I implore you to please follow the guidelines and help slow the spread of this virus because folks like myself, we can't afford the medical system to be completely overwhelmed. If I come down with this thing, I need a hospital bed. I know I'm going to need a hospital bed. I'm not going to be one of those persons who can probably ride it out at home. So I thank you all for stepping up, being responsible, and doing the right thing at this time. I know it's scary. I know a lot of us are worried about our finances. We're worried about, rent and food and everything else that will become difficult to manage as we go without work. All I can say is, file for unemployment. I did that myself today for the first time in my life. File for unemployment. Look for whatever assistance you can get because it is very important that we flatten the curve. And yeah, let's all support each other. If you need help, ask your neighbors, ask your family, ask your friends. It's time for everybody to step up and provide assistance to one another where it's needed. And the thing you can do for me is just, self-quarantine. And in the meantime, I will continue to bring you episodes of the Intellectual Podcast and Sci-Fi Sunday. And I believe I'm going to be guest hosting on the Art House Legends podcast at Gonna Geek as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. And check out GonnaGeek.com. There's a ton of podcasts there that can help you pass the time. This is the time to start listening to podcasts, right? You're home. You got nothing else to do. You can only Netflix and hunker so long, find other things to do. Listen to some audiobooks. Now's maybe the time to utilize YouTube to learn how to play a guitar or a piano or maybe take up some painting or something. Use this time. It can be productive time. It might not be your job, but it is a good time if you're going to be home to finally maybe spend some time doing some things that you've always talked about doing, learning things that you've always talked about learning. And I think you can enrich your life in other ways while you're stuck at the house. So this episode of the Intellectual Podcast was recorded on the evening of wrapping Kung Fu Ghost, the feature film from Jennifer Linch. We had her on the show a couple months back. I did an 18-day shoot with Jennifer. I played the character Grandpa in her film. Had an absolutely amazing time playing this character, getting into makeup every day with my very, very talented collaborator, my makeup artist, Francia Cohen. She just did an incredible job with my makeup every day, and God bless you, Francia, for doing that. I don't think I could have found the voice and the character of Grandpa without your work. So the character is very much a work of art that's created by the two of us. I think when the movie's done, I think hopefully there's a fun performance there for everybody. And when we wrapped, I sat down with my co-star Noah Sargent, who had come all the way from North Carolina by way of New Jersey to be in this film. We also chatted with our director of photography, Jerome Dolbert, from Paris, and with Larry Johnson, the incredibly fun and lovable PA on our set, who is a deputy sheriff, I believe, in Kentucky. Comes from a very small town in Kentucky. And we had a really nice chat. So here it is. Myself and some of the cast and crew of Kung Fu Ghost on the 6th episode of the 7th season of the Intellectual Podcast.
This is Jenna Jameson, and you are listening to something that's incredibly intellectual.
Oh, my God. So I'm sitting here at our executive producer's house of Kung Fu Ghost with 4 gentlemen, but only 3 are mic'd and going to be part of the podcast because they are the 3 guys who came in from out of state, even out of country. Noah Sargent.
Hello.
Who played the character William in our film Kung Fu Ghost, my co-star. Our brilliant director of photography, Mr. Jerome Dolbert.
Hi, thank you so much.
Who is from Paris.
Paris, from France.
If you can't tell.
No, Paris from US.
And sitting next to me here is the completely lovable and affable Larry Johnson from Kentucky.
Woo!
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I just want to sit and chat with you guys because, you know, this is an independent feature film that we just completed. We've had 18 days of shooting. And we didn't kill each other. Came close.
That's good.
Yeah. But you know, I wanted to talk a little bit about what got you guys here, how you got into the project, and then a little bit about your backgrounds. But I want to start with the guy who comes the furthest away. We'll start with Jerome, who is responsible for all the beautiful imagery in our film. Jerome, how did you get roped into doing Kung Fu Ghost here in San Diego?
I met first Jennifer Linch, and so she asked me to come to work with her, and so I accept. And about my background, when I work in France for 15 years on the French TV commercial and different projects, and I just made 2 documentaries. So they watch and okay, let's go to work together.
What were the documentaries about that you shot?
So the first one, the title is The Rainforests Are Under the Threat. So I went to Peru in the South America for 3 months and stayed with the biologists from US, Canada, Germany, Europe. And so we went to shoot about deforestation, global warming, pollutions. The people there shut down the trees, and the mafia tried to find the gold, so they use mercury. And so there, the pollution, so the people get cancer. So now this documentary I've made like 5 years ago, and it was in the COP21, is accepted. And now it's released in 120 countries via Discovery Educational. It's on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, DirecTV, different. Yeah. And now I made a new one. I went 3 times to Cambodia, and this documentary talk about educations for women and kids. So now it's post-production editing. and I just finished the work with the Kung Fu Ghost.
It
was very good.
It's quite a change going from Cambodia and Peru to Kung Fu Ghost.
Kung Fu Ghost. So I'm very glad. The crew is amazing. Actor and actress is amazing. And we shot with the red AK and the lens, the French ingenieur lenses. And we shot close 20 terabyte for 18 days.
Yeah, a lot of footage.
Yeah, a lot of footage.
Between documentaries and feature films and commercials, what is the thing you prefer to work on? What floats Jerome's boat the most?
Documentaries, when you work even if in Peru or in Cambodia with a small crew, but you are more independent. So you just grab your camera and you shoot and try to get interviews. But when you work on the movie, you have the big crew, or the crew
should have a big crew.
And so you have to every day have the smile and organize, and to have the people like Brian, Larry help me a lot. It's a PA to set up the lighting and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to every day to go forward and try to get the beautiful footage. So it's different when you work on the movies. It's not the same challenge. You have to manage and because every day you have the script and the scene you have to shoot. So in the documentary is different. Like when I went in the rainforest to shoot, we are shooting the monkeys or animals to get interviews. So you take your time. You have no pressures. But on the film, you have pressures. So every day you have to follow which scene you have to shoot.
Right.
So that,
the pressure is totally different on a feature than it is on the documentary.
Yeah.
Do you shoot your documentaries on that big red?
The first one it on the red, the Epic, and the second one is the red helium.
Yeah.
Because some distributor like Netflix they accept only minimum 4K.
Right.
Discovery they accept DCP 4K, so they accept. But for festivals, it's one festival, it's Hollywood, accept DCP 2K. Mm-hmm. So in Cambodia, I shot 8K or 7K. But at the end, I finished off 4K. Right. And for the festivals, it's depend. Sometimes it's DVD or Blu-ray.
Do you find having to carry that large a camera around for your documentary cumbersome?
Sorry?
It's such a big camera. Is it complicated shooting a documentary with that? Sometimes you need to run and gun on
exactly. Right? That is the most difficult when you shoot the feature. Okay, you have the gimbal or tripod. You take your time to set up the lighting and everything. But in Peru, in the rainforest, when sometimes we work for 6-7 hours in the rainforest to carry the red with the lens, it's 20 pounds with the tripod. But in Cambodia, it's the same issue, and the weather is maybe 90 degree Fahrenheit.
Right. The house dogs are going crazy.
That is my dog. That's right. And the humidity, crazy.
Right.
Peru, I think it was worse than Cambodia, but that is. It's my second dog.
They're just feeling the pain of all that heat for you too.
Don't worry. Sometimes people use the smaller camera. It's easier, but with this camera, it's a bit heavy. But when I went to the different village, I want to get the beautiful footage about the kids. So I got the beautiful footage. So sometimes I say, okay, why I'm going to shoot with this camera? It's so heavy. But at the end, I was glad because I got the beautiful footage of the kids. And
Yeah, it is beautiful footage coming off that camera, especially with the lenses that you have.
The camera, okay, but the lens is most important.
Yeah. Lenses make all the
I
difference.
make everything.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And so the light we got, it's the DMG Lumière. It's a French company, but Roscoe bought this company 2 years ago. So the lighting is important, but the lens, you can see, even if you put the DSLR camera and put this lens, I think we're going to get the beautiful footage.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
the lens is very important. Yeah.
Yeah. The difference in glass can make such a difference.
Yeah. Because for the lens, when they built in France, everything is manual. They don't use like robot.
So it's all hand ground
exactly.
glass and everything. Yeah. So it's just old school craftsmanship.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
old school. Like the Roger Deakins, they use a lot lens from Ingenieux when he shot. I don't know about the last movie he shot, 1917, but I know they used this lens. Well, it's very expensive. The big one, they just Ingenieux release is $100,000. The lens.
Whew. I don't think we
very
even spent that
expensive.
much money on this whole movie.
So, but the lens we use is like $25,000.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, the $100,000 lens, that's the lens you rent.
Exactly. You rent that, so you don't
Yeah,
break it.
don't buy that. Noah,
No,
Hello.
all the way from North Carolina by way of New Jersey.
That is very, very correct. All the way.
So you were on the podcast a few weeks back
Yes, I
in a
was.
kind of weird, fucked up kind of
That was a very interesting.
FaceTimed in kind of way.
Yeah.
It's great to have you sitting here in front of me to actually talk to now.
Yes, it is.
And we've spent 18 days on set, and we got to get to know each other as actors pretty well.
Yes.
How did you come into Jennifer's orbit, and how difficult was it to make the decision to come all the way across the country to be in this movie?
Well, okay, so I was reached out. Jennifer Linch reached out to me about auditioning for the role of William, and for her upcoming film called Kung Fu Ghost. And at first, I really didn't think a lot of it. I was just like, okay, another self-tape audition. All right, everyone knows how these things goes when you're an actor, especially when they're further away. At first the idea is like, oh, great, we like this guy's look or whatever it is. Then they go to do the audition and they end up telling you, oh, you're too far away.
Right.
So, but when it came time to actually, after doing about 4 self-tape auditions and then being able to, get offered the role, there was no hesitation, actually. Not even the fact that it was all across the country, I didn't think anything. I didn't think twice about it. I was just like, you know what? Yes, let's do it. Experience is experience, and I've never been to that side of the country before.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really excited just about the opportunity because I thought, whatever experience I have on the film, I'm still going to get to experience another part of life being somewhere else where I've never been before. So, it was,
which as an actor is really important, right?
Yeah,
to be able to expand the kind of toolbox that you can pull from.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And being able to, because you go state to state and it's like a whole new world sometimes. And that's definitely the type of feeling that I got when I came all across country here. And I would definitely say that it's a very memorable experience and just awesome. I mean, who any actor would dream to just be on set every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether if they're acting or not, but being on set is a great feeling when you're doing something that you truly enjoy.
Right.
So.
Now, you grew up in North Carolina.
Yes.
And you started making films with your family. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So my brother, Chase Sargent, who's a very, very talented writer and musician, who was an actor as well, great guy. He's the one who actually inspired me to really do anything when it comes to filming and filmmaking. Because all growing up, he would always want to make little short clips or do little videos, and it could be anything about anything. And most of it when we were really little revolved around Jedis. But then, of course, when he got...
God bless you.
Yeah. When he got a little older and stuff like that, it was more around music and actually making music videos. And me and him made a couple together. But I mean, you know, he was doing the acting and working on different shows like Revolution and Under the Dome at the time before it got canceled. But, you know, he was doing pretty well, and he really just inspired me to do that. And a lot of the films that we did as a family, you know, my dad has always been a phenomenal just about anything he does, because when he puts his mind to it, he's going to keep on working at it until he gets what he wants.
And he looks like the world's most interesting man.
Yes, yes. And, you know, so really I think that the fact that all of us have different creative sides, me, my father, and my brother, I think we kind of just fed off of each other, even when we were younger. I mean, like, my dad saw how much we loved it, and it made him get back into it. Because he was in, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the original. So,
Really?
you know, he was in that, and then he stopped when he had a family, of course, you know. And the next thing you know, when my brother Chase started getting into it and really working and stuff, my dad was like, you know what, I want to get back into this. Like,
He wants to go ninja, go ninja, go.
Exactly. Go ninja, go ninja, go.
I know my
exactly,
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, but it's been great, and it's nice to have a family that backs you up.
Yeah,
because I definitely know, you know, especially nowadays, you know, people are still in the mindset of just, you know, you have to get a job, you know, you have to do this, you have to do that. I mean, yes, you know, you need to be sustainable, and you need to be able to pay bills, but at the same time, you know, if that's all you ever do and you never get to pursue what you want to do, then are you living your life? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
like, you know, that's can be difficult, but yeah.
No, you're preaching to the choir with me on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pursue your passions first.
Yeah. And I mean, money, you know, yes, money is a necessity, but if you can do what you love and focus on what you love, and then eventually it becomes profitable, you're both best of both worlds. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, you know, I would definitely say I'm one of those people where, even though this industry is very expensive, when you're working and when you're doing what you love to do, money really doesn't matter.
No.
It really, to me, honestly, it doesn't.
Yeah. I've said for a long time, especially on the podcast, that if you pursue your passions and you pursue being happy first, the rest of it takes care of itself.
Yeah.
But if you pursue the rest of it in the hopes that it'll make you happy,
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things I'll definitely say is that, you know, if you're truly passionate about something and you care about it, you're going to work that much harder. You're going to be that much more consistent in what you do and get better in what you do, and be willing to take advice from people who are more experienced than you.
Right.
You know, and all those factors go into play in becoming good at what you're passionate about, and then in return, it being more likely to be profitable.
Right.
Whether or not that, you know, that wasn't necessarily your focus.
Right.
But because you did the hard work and really focused on what you cared about and were passionate about, it became profitable.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that's just an amazing thing. You know, some people it takes 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Other people it takes 1.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing too, though, is like, if you look back at art, and that's what filmmaking is, it's art, right? But you look back at the classic arts of like the Middle Ages and even Egypt, and you know, go to ancient times. Artistry was something you mastered over a lifetime.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a lifetime pursuit to find yourself making the perfect piece of art, you know? Yeah. And I think we've kind of gotten away from that over time, you know, and people have forgotten that, you know, art and commerce have become so blended. Like, if you're not making money, what's the point? Well, the point is I'm trying to get to where I make the piece that I will be remembered for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
Or after I'm gone, you know, the legacy that's not something that you just pop out and create. Like, it takes forever to perfect the art form, you know?
Yeah.
And project after project after project, and especially with filmmaking, unlike almost any other piece of art, it's so collaborative, and you can't really do it alone, and you have to gather people together to even practice the art, let alone make money at it and get better at it, you know, and become a master at it. You know, I've been making movies for 20 years, and I grow every time I work with a DP like Jerome, who's comes from a completely different place from where I'm from. And you have a different perspective on how to shoot things. And I can learn from you by paying attention to you, you know, and I think there's things that I know that you could learn from me, you know, because we have those different backgrounds, you know, and that's what I love about filmmaking is that collaboration. But it's a lifetime's worth of collaborating with people over and over and over
like
again.
1 year, it's like many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was just talking to Jerome about that, as you know, like throughout continuing in this process of working on different projects and stuff like that, you know, I'm very thankful that I got to meet everyone, you know, meet you, meet Jerome and everything. And another reason is because, you know, you're on the other side of the country, David. And now I'm working with you. Jerome's from Europe, from Paris. Now I'm working with Jerome. So, you know, exactly, you know, and it's an amazing thing because that is exactly the point. And I think that's one of the things that makes filmmakers and people who are truly passionate about art, being an artist, no matter what type of art it is taking someone else's perspective and seeing how you translate it or how it affects your art. What does it inspire you to do? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that it is very, very important to when you really want an amazing picture, like in the future, you know, I have hopes for a few of my projects in the future, you know, I really want people with other mindsets to give me that little bit of extra input from a different perspective. Because my mind is still going to be biased to what I want.
Yeah.
But no matter what, other people can still make that better.
Yeah.
You know, if you just allow them to help you.
Yeah. My dad always used to say, you don't know what you don't know. And by bringing in other people with different backgrounds from yours, they can fill in the gaps of the things that you don't know. And you'll recognize it when they bring it to you. But you don't know what you're missing until you bring them in. Yeah. And speaking of different perspectives, our third guest on the podcast tonight, Mr. Larry Johnson from Kentucky. Woo! Larry is a cop
Larry.
who came all the way out here on his vacation to work on the film.
Sheriff.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Kung Fu Ghost and how you got roped into this completely random left coast endeavor from where you came from?
Yeah, I became friends with Jennifer Linch on Facebook in 2016 and just sort of communicated back and forth, you know, like we do on Facebook, and kind of followed the post and stuff she was doing. And I liked her stuff. Found out she was doing martial arts films. I like martial arts. And so when I found out she was going to be doing her first feature film and she was looking for people to be in the film, I contacted her and asked her if I could be in the film. And she said, yeah. And I just thought I'd come out on vacation for 4 or 5 days. And so she said, well, could you come out for the duration of the filming of the movie? And I said, sure, because I had time. So, and now it's, I've been here 17 days working on the film. We just wrapped it. We completed it. I had a wonderful time, met all kinds of wonderful people like Noah, the lead actor, Jennifer, of course, Jerome, Brian, you, and all the others on the film, and learned so much from everybody. And in Kentucky, I do the Kentucky Cave Creeper on my YouTube. So I go in caves and explore stuff. So I thought, well, this would be an opportunity for me to learn how to do more camera and video work, which would help me make connections and network, and would be a good thing. So it's turned out to be a wonderful experience and a wonderful trip for me.
What's a normal day for you like, Larry, before you came out to here?
I'm kind of to myself. I just hang around my apartment. I work, hang out with my kids. I got 2 identical twin boys, 17 years old. And maybe I'll go out and do a video or something around a cave or something, but my life is just basically pretty normal.
Yeah.
And so this is a big thing for me to come all the way out here, you know, and do all this.
Yeah, you just spent 18 days with a bunch of crazy artists.
Oh yeah.
How has that sat with you? Like,
I love it. I mean, it's just another thing on my bucket list that I completed. I've always wanted to do work on a film all the way through its entirety. Yeah. And I came out here to be a production assistant and also take pictures behind the scenes, which I took many pictures for Jennifer, and that was exciting. And that gave me a lot of photograph experience. and I
You
enjoyed
ended
it.
up doing more than just taking photos and being a PA though. Like you ended up being the sound assistant.
Yeah, I worked sound. I mean, I
worked on
thought
lighting.
I thought I'd just be doing small things and stuff. And I got to work lighting. I got to work sound.
I think we were
cameraman.
I think we were 5 or 6 days. Yeah, pulled focus. I think we were 5 or 6 days into it, and I said, "How's it going, Larry?" And you're like, I said, "Well, I thought I was just going to come here and like get coffee and stuff, but I'm actually I'm actually working on things.
I'm actually learning how to do a film." And
by
so
the time you leave here, you'll be an expert at all these things.
How much would I have had to pay for that to go to school, and then I get to come down and do it and get put up too? A
You
place
ended up
to eat.
becoming our primary slater by the end of the film. Like, hey, we need to slate. Where's Larry?
Yeah,
Where you at, Larry?
That was a great thing. I never had slated a film or anything. I worked a little bit with Animal Planet in the past, finding stuff for them, but this is the first time I've really dug in and deep and worked on a film.
Well, I had an absolute blast having you on set. And you had such a great sense of humor.
I loved all you guys.
A lot of fun at you because my family comes from that area of the world, and they give me a lot of grief for being a left coast resident.
You're like my second family now. I call you my California family down here now.
And he's lovely Larry.
Lovely Larry.
And very professional.
And for a professional cameraman from all the way from Paris and an award-winning cameraman and director like him to say that I'm just overwhelmed by the compliment.
Well, you earned that compliment.
I'm overwhelmed when he says that.
Yeah, and we've had a crazy shoot. I mean, let's face it, we've had an insane shoot. I mean, it's just a kind of an insane schedule to begin with. We had 5 days of fighting scenes before we ever even got to shooting the 95 pages of dialogue, right? So, I mean, 18 days, 5 of it on fighting, and then the rest 12 of it shooting dialogue. Kind of insane. But on top of all that, we've been dealing with this coronavirus outbreak all around it, right? And in the first week, a bunch of the cast was sick, right?
Very
Jennifer
true.
included.
I was sick. I got sick. Man, everyone got sick.
I didn't get sick.
Okay, David did not get sick. Jerome did not get sick.
Jerome,
me and Larry,
totally fine.
Me and Larry were on the way to set.
To coronavirus.
Look, me and Larry were on the way to set. And Larry, I'd be like, Larry, you still got phlegm in your chest? And he's like, yep, I do. And I was like, all right, let's hang it up before we start the day. And we'd go right in. And me and Larry would just go right in and be like, all right, light time.
Yeah, we just pressed right on with it. I got to stay with Noah at night in the house and stuff.
Music.
Yeah.
That's what we listened to. Music. The 80s. We were vibing to the 80s every morning on the way to set. It was great.
How old are you, Larry?
I'm 54 years
You're
old.
54. How old are you, Noah?
22.
What I love is the image of these two guys, Mr. Kentucky, Mr. North Carolina, separated by 20-something years worth of age, driving to the set every day together, dancing and bopping to 80s music together.
Hey, we loved it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Noah's extremely intelligent. He's a very smart, very good person.
Oh, wow. How much did he pay you for that?
He paid me nothing because that comes from the heart.
No massage. Free massage.
Oh, man.
Jerome, what was the biggest challenge for you on this set? Like in terms of getting your images done? Was it the fast pace of all the text? Was it the fact that we were shooting in a location that had a lot of leaking in the roof?
To set up the light.
Setting up the light?
Yeah, like move the C-stand. But Brian and Larry were here to help me.
Yeah,
but no,
I look around sometimes and I'm like, Jerome needs like 5 more people. Yeah. No offense to these two beautiful human beings sitting right here. Like, Jerome needs like 5 more people.
I'm not lazy. So, because we use a dolly shot, so.
I'm a light.
Oh my.
Our director's not drunk anymore.
The director's not drunk anymore.
We just walked in the room.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think I just set up the lighting. It was the challenge with the dolly. But with Brian and Larry, it was very useful for me. So, but to shoot with the camera, I love so much shoot and explain what I want and the blocking. It was easy.
Are you guys doing the podcast right now?
Yeah, we're podcasting right now, Jen.
Can I jump in?
You have to pay.
Pay to be a part. We all put our 2 cents in.
So, I just want to say, because this was my first feature film as a lead actor, what a just absolute joy it was to get to work with you guys.
Thank you.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
advice.
You're welcome.
It was a blast.
Noah, like getting to act with you and kind of bounce the ideas of what we were doing. Because I play this 85-year-old crazy fucking like martial arts ghost.
Yeah.
It was a big leap
Yeah.
for me to play. And there were days where I felt really unsure about it. And you were always there to like just reassure me that
Of course, man. You
we
did
were doing
an
good
absolute
and that we
great
were on
job.
track. And
Yeah.
I really appreciated that support, that camaraderie that we had was really nice.
But you tell me we got beautiful footage, but footage is good, but no sound. It's nothing.
Brian's in here, who's being really, really quiet because he doesn't have a mic. Was our sound
Right,
guy
but for the sound, it's
worked his
good.
ass off trying to get the sound
Yeah.
on this movie.
Thank you.
And
Great. Yeah.
I'm going to have you on the podcast on a different night. Larry, who I just adore. And like you're like a brother to me at this point, Larry.
Yeah, you are me
And
too.
I give you
Yeah.
shit like you're my brother.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I loved watching you grow from the very beginning to the very end here. Because the first few days it was like, we needed Larry to do anything. It
Right,
all had
yeah.
to be explained. Every single part of it.
Yeah. Larry learned
Yeah.
fast, man. He did
You
great.
know, like grab a C-stand. What's a C-stand? Like, I mean, it was as simple as that. You know, can you go help out with sound? Sure. What do I got to do? You know, it's like, but by the end of it, it was just like, hey, Larry, let's do this. You know,
exactly,
and
yeah.
you knew everything you needed to do from slating to light to sound to working with the cameras, and it was a lot of fun. And you were so ready to just jump in and learn, and that was just amazing. And we work around a lot of people. I've worked around a lot of people who get very like narrow about what they want to focus on, narrow about what they're working on. They won't help with anything else. And to work with somebody who was so open to just learning everything that there was on set, and had such a wonderfully positive attitude.
Yeah, I know,
regardless
right?
of what was going on.
No matter what it was,
If
Larry
I
was
was
like,
killing people around the world, it's all good. It's not. We're not here. We're all
Larry's
good.
over here just saying,
Water is pouring in through the roof. It's all right. I'll get a bucket.
I came to learn, and I wanted to make you all happy and be proud of
Nice,
me
good.
coming.
Larry, you made us
wonderful.
all happy, but none of us know what you did last summer.
And you never will.
and Jerome, I feel so fortunate to know that you were pointing the camera in my direction.
Very yes.
For my first big role, which I got thanks to Jennifer.
Yes.
But you know, to know that you were pointing that beautiful camera with that gorgeous lens my direction was it was really nice.
But now I want to see your face on the big screen.
Yeah.
See every single gray hair in the beard,
To see
the wild
and
eyes.
to see your beautiful acting.
Yeah, no,
I'm waiting that now. Yeah.
I can attest to that too because without dogs.
Okay, it's my dog.
Without Jennifer, casting me for this and wanting me for this, I would have never got to work with any of you guys. So thank you very much, Jennifer. But it was an amazing experience, and it was a pleasure to work with you, being the DP. And this is my first big feature film where I'm a lead role as well, and it's nice to be able to share that with David. And also, like you said before, David, being able to collaborate with each other has been phenomenal because you don't always get that. I mean,
No.
you're never guaranteed the relationship that we built on this set. You're never guaranteed any of that.
Yeah.
Ever. So, I would say this entire, I've been here since the 26th, but the 18 days on set, I would say we're great.
Yeah.
We're great. It was great to get to know everyone and work with everyone. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
It was great.
I just want to give a shout out to the stunt team too, because those
Stunt
guys
team
worked
did
their
amazing.
freaking asses
And I mean,
off.
look, Jennifer, man, she showed me all around San Diego. I mean, thank you so much for doing that. That was a blast. I mean, I had an amazing time. You know, I'd never eaten Vietnamese food, never eaten Korean
you've had your
food,
fill.
and now I've had my fill for like 5 years. But I mean, it was phenomenal. So thank you, Jennifer. But I had a great time.
Cool.
So thank you guys.
Well, that's it for Kung Fu Ghost. The dogs are telling us it's time to leave. We will be back with more updates on this film on the Intellectual Podcast, obviously, because I'm a major part of the movie and I want to share the work. But in the meantime, please make sure you visit our website at theintellectual.com for more amazing content from our other podcasts, Sci-Fi Sunday. We are, of course, also a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network at GonnaGeek.com. Check that site out for other incredibly geeky podcasts. And until next time, I'm Dave Dawson. I've been sitting with Noah Sargent, Jerome Dolbert,
Oh, perfect.
and Larry Johnson.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you guys very, very soon. And someday I'll get Brian on the show with me as well. Although I'm teaching him audio, and he's going to be around for a while.
Professional.
He might start being my audio guy on the podcast. We'll see how it goes.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Bye, David.
Thanks, guys.
Hello there, citizens. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the floaty that will not flush no matter how many times you try in the toilet bowl of crime. I am Darkwing Duck, telling you please, talk hard and enjoy the mindgasm. Whatever the heck that means. After all, you are watching Intellectual Podcast with your ears.